You are about to enter Gigi's world.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this tour underway. So one of the things that I have to do is some pruning on some of my fruit trees. Let me use this one as an example. So you see the branch that is here, and look where it's coming up. It's coming up right into another branch, which is, you know, a very strong, nice, healthy, strong branch. And then there's even another one that is coming right there out of that strong branch as well. So I'm going to trim those off. As this plant gets bigger, you don't want your branches to be crossing like that. You don't want to have any issues with any type of disease or anything. So you definitely want your branches to be more separate and going into a direction that they can be self-sustaining and be strong. So I'm going to cut those two off of there. And this is my witch apple tree. And of course, I'm going to cut this sucker down here too. I don't even know what that is, but that's something different that is on the actual stalk down there. So this was a graft, whatever type of apple or whatever that was. I'm gonna have to cut that off because look at the leaf. See how totally different it is? Yeah, so that'll be coming off of there as well. I have to go ahead and get these out of this bag. That's the black amber plum. I have several plum trees now, and I also have this early gold apricot now, so that one's looking good. This is the apricot looking good, and the black amber plum I need to go ahead and get out of the bag. So here are some of the things that I started just about 4 or 5 days ago, and as you can see, we do have some dill that is coming up. This is the Long Island dill. Also have safflower, which is coming up. Some butterfly wildflower mix coming up. I am always super proud of this. This is my second time growing. I lost one plant just recently, the Nigella sativa, which is the black seed, which you can make a very, very powerful oil from. And so here is my borage. That's that. I am working on germinating some patchouli. The purple coneflower is germinated and they're looking good. So I also have ashwagandha back there, some burdock, Japanese burdock, and some candy cane peppers that I'm trying to germinate in this batch. So let's go to the next one. So I've also been going around and just trimming up this elephant ear. So I am going to be I'm going to actually remove these from that container because they're in here along with my black diamond crepe myrtle. Look at that beauty. Look at how beautiful it is, and it just keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. It's putting on new life, and I just love it. I love it, and I just can't wait to see it get nice and bigger, but it needs a bigger pot along with these elephant ears. They definitely need a larger pot, so I'm going to be potting those as well. And one of the other things I did, if you saw my video where I went plant shopping, I bought these lamb's ear I bought one lamb's ear plant, and it had so many pieces in there that I went ahead and divided them. And I think I got about maybe 7 different plants out of that one. And some of them I didn't even divide them all the way. I just, got 7 clumps, and that's what I went with. So they are recovering nicely. They went through a little shock, being separated and all that, but that's pretty normal. And we just wait on them to bounce back. And so they're starting to look pretty decent. So, and right here is another apple tree. This is the Anna apple here. I think that other one was my Macintosh. And so as you see, look at the little branches that are just, they're trying to grow straight up beside this, but I want them to separate themselves and come out more like that, go to a different angle rather than to sort of combine themselves together. That one looks good, but it's so much smaller. I'm just gonna take it out. Anything that I find that's in an elbow will definitely be removed. So I'm going to do some pruning on this Anna apple as well. So you guys remember I separated these Majesty palms, and they are doing good. They are growing. It's gonna take a little bit for them to really start to just grow a lot, to get, pretty tall, but they are doing well. They are doing well, putting on new growth, as you can see right here. That's their new stalk that's coming along. But they took very, very well to being separated. Really did not have any real issue with being separated. And they are looking really good. Looking really good. We finally got in some 6-packs. So now I can finally buy a few vegetables. We have some tomatoes. Let's see. We have green bell peppers, hot cayenne peppers. I'm not growing hot peppers this year, so I'm gonna pass on the cayenne. I just want sweet peppers. However, I do want these jalapenos. Like, I'm jalapeno crazy, so. And a few cucumbers also in the 6-pack. Some cucumbers down there in the 6-pack. But as you can see, they've cleaned it out, cleaned out the 6-packs, because this is our first time this year having 6-pack. Bunny, do better. Do better. Do better. And now this one is my newest citrus, and it is a red navel orange. So she is just beautiful. She is absolutely beautiful. She is doing well, putting on new growth. I just gave her some food today, and she is just doing really well. I'm really, really happy with this one. And it does have a little fruit on there. It's kind of hard to see. But I did see some little fruit on there. I just got it a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. So it's doing all right. Even if it doesn't give me any fruit. Oh, there's one that dried up. So I saw a bigger one. I don't know if it has fallen off or whatever, but I'm going to be giving it some food on a regular basis and see if we can get some fruit, at least a little fruit this year. But she is a beauty. She's a beauty. Now this one right here has been through everything and overcome everything. This came from my friend Dan Permaculture Food Forest. And when I got it, it was literally about this big. It was about maybe 12 inches. And this is a mulberry. And as you can see, it is just, it's doing well. It's coming on. It tried the weather and being in different locations, you know, just did a little number on it, but it's coming back nice. I think I'm gonna cut it. I think I'm gonna cut it about here to make it bush more, and then I'm gonna do some propagating on this top portion of it so that we can get more of the elderberries. But I definitely want that one to bush more and not get like 20 feet tall and have to be fighting to get elderberries down off of there. So that's that. Now here are a bunch of the cuttings that I took from my Propagate Something video. I have still been propagating. Thank you to those few people who actually did videos showing their propagation as well. That information really helps people. This is, let's see what this one is. I know it's a citrus. I'm not sure whether it's the Meyer or the pomelo though, but I know it's a citrus. Not sure which one it is. That is definitely a Meyer right there. And this may be, let's see. Yeah, some of my ink has worn off of those containers, but I do also have a lot of elderberries. I'm literally going to have an elderberry farm off of all of these things. And so I definitely am going to be propagating a whole lot more of the elderberry plantings. They are so simple and so easy to propagate. So these are the ones that I cut down. I cut them severely. They were an actual tree and I cut them a whole lot, and now they are roughly, this one is roughly 3 feet tall now. So yeah, they're doing really well. And so I actually bought this one as a bare root plant, and you know, it had nothing on it. Oh, look at that. That looks like millibug. Kind of looks like millibugs there, that white part on the stalk. So I'm gonna have to, Eco Neighbor showed me how to get rid of them with some alcohol and water solution. So I'm gonna do that and get rid of those. But this plum, Bruce plum, is doing really well. It's growing so well. Every time I get a bare root tree, I soak it. And you know, I know you don't necessarily have to soak them, but I just get really good results from soaking them. So I'm gonna be spraying everything down with neem oil because something is eating at them. But the Bruce plum is doing well. Okay, and let me show you just how hard trees fight for survival. Plants in general, how hard they fight for survival. So I dug this plant up. It went through a little shock, not as bad as the other ones because I was able to get most of the root ball, but you know, it went through some shock. But look at that. Look who's putting on lemons. This is the tree. I have only had this tree for a full year. That's it. Last year, I got fruit in like, I believe it was like 6 to 8 months. Got fruit off of this tree. I mean, it's like, let me show you. It's tallish like me, so it's not super big. It lost a bunch of its leaves, but it is holding on to fruit. This tree is, you know, just give it a little something to eat and it is doing the rest. So I'm really happy to see that. And that's my Eureka lemon. Really, really, really super happy to see that. Look at that. Just holding on to fruit. So feed them a little, they'll take care of you. So in a recent video, look at that. I have aromas in there. My pink bumblebees are not coming up yet, but aromas are definitely coming up. And look, this is my patty pan squash. It was trying to, you know, push its way through the dome there. So I bought these from Beauty in the Garden, and so they are doing well. And then a few more of them are actually have some activity going on inside. That's the P. Robertson. That one of those have germinated. The giant mixed tomato, one of those have germinated. The Everglades tomatoes have germinated. Got those from Dan Permaculture Food Forest as well. So we're just waiting on a few more things to start to germinate, but the domes are actually doing good. These are the ones that I got from $1.25 Tree. Had to take a little break and throw something on the grill so the family can eat today. These are beef ribs, which my husband likes a lot, and just some chicken legs. So keeping it pretty simple for dinner today, but yeah, the beef ribs are looking really scrumptious. I misplaced an entire bunch of the shampoo ginger lily. So I'm glad to see that these are coming up. So I'm going to just trim these up and get them all nice and healthy, but I have to separate these like immediately. Go ahead and separate those. And if I told you that you were getting shampoo ginger lily, I will send it out soon. Sorry for the delay, but I will send it out to you soon. And here is my chocolate mint. Chocolate mint, just growing, getting bigger. I'm gonna propagate some more of those as well. And it's doing really well, Some more of the lamb's ear that I separated. And these are the blue irises that I got from my friend AJ at AJ's Green Thumb. So those are doing well. Some mullein needs to come out of that pocket. That pot, it is struggling in that pot, but it's still doing its thing. It is really still doing its thing. Oh, I think I told you guys that I was going to show you the difference between lamb's ear and mullein. So you'll never get those two mixed up again. You see the difference? You see that? There is the mullein with a nice big leaf. There's lamb's ear. This one is young. They'll get bigger than this, but that's the difference. That's how they look. So I'm gonna grab some of these big boy tomatoes. Make sure when you're going to search for your 6-packs that there are at least 6 tomatoes in there. So these have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 total in this pack, so I'm definitely grabbing this one. And that's the big boy tomato. So let me show you one of my favorite plants from 2021. That is my Centennial Variegated kumquat. This baby right here. I love this thing. It was delicious. I let the fruit stay on for a longer period of time than I did the first year, and it's producing more and more every year. As you can see, look at this sucker coming up out of there. So I'm gonna take that and I'm going to propagate that so that I can get a couple more. I may even take some of these from the bottom and propagate them so that I can, have a few of these. I love this one because the fruit is very, very delicious, very delicious. And on top of that, it produced fruit. It was probably my second smallest plant that produced fruit. The first one was my kumquat. So I'm gonna take some of this because I definitely want more of these. It is growing really, really well. So I want more of these. I'm probably gonna propagate the majority of this down here so that we can have plenty of these kumquats. Very good fruit. You just have to let them get, some of the orange on them. Yep. That's it. So we made it back from the depot and found my 6 packs. So I ended up just getting 6. All I got was 6 packs, and Eco Neighbor is already scolding me for buying more plants to go here. But hey, if we got to be at the RV park, we're still gonna eat. So I'm going to get these potted up and get them rehydrated, fed, nice and healthy, and get some tomatoes and peppers going on out here at the RV park. Let me show you really quickly what your tree will look like if it's a graft. You see that right there? And you see the way that this is onto the side. Here is another example. You see the curve that's there, and they did this one on the top. So that's what your tree will look like if it is a graft versus grown from seed. And one final example.